Well, it looks like Sony is not wasting any time expanding their Spider-Man universe. We know that Venom will play a big part of this upcoming world, especially after the success of Venom and Venom Let There Be Carnage. And now we have some pretty definitive news on the third installment. So let's take a couple minutes to talk about Venom 3, when the movie starts production, and how this might clue us in on when we'll actually see the movie released. Well, as many of you know, after the relative large levels of success Sony has found with both Venom movies, it was pretty clear a Venom 3 was inevitable. We found out last April that the film had been officially greenlit. And not only that, it was teased it would be the last dance for the franchise star, Tom Hardy. Now, quite honestly, since then, we've gotten almost no news about Venom 3, with a lot of the news from Sony focusing on Kraven, Madam Web, and Across the Spider-Verse. The only real news we got was that writer and producer of the first two films, Kelly Marcel, will be taking up the director duties. But now, after nearly 2 months of silence, we've got a bit of news about the production. Now, this doesn't come from Sony, so we have to take it with a grain of salt. But a lot of these production reports require a lot of notice, and this one actually comes via Dan Rickman over on his Patreon account. Now, unfortunately, Rickman did not give us a firm date on Production Kickoff. He just made it clear it's starting in a few months. But given the first two movies were released in October and released about a year from when their production started, this might give us a clearer picture of when we're going to see Venom 3. Now, the bigger questions are, what's going to happen in Venom 3? Because quite honestly, there have been a lot of rumors about Spider-Man potentially being part of this franchise. Given the success of Sony's recent Spider-Man movies, I know that's something they really want to make happen. The big question is, which version of Spider-Man will this be? And could it mean the return of one of the previous versions of Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire, as part of the Venom franchise? The symbiote made it pretty clear he knew who Spider-Man was in that post-credit scene to the last Venom movie, so not working Spider-Man into the next movie, especially given that disappointment cameo in the MCU, I think that would leave fans feeling pretty let down. Since this is going to be the last hurrah for Tom Hardy as the character, I really do think they will pull out the stops and figure out how to make a Spider-Man appear in the movie. Like we said, it's unclear whether it's Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire or even a new casting. I just feel pretty sure it won't be Tom Holland. I also suspect we might get a lot of peeks into the other parts of the mythology of Venom, including their home planet and maybe even the symbiote god Null. These are all things fans have been clamoring for a long time, and I don't think Sony is actually going to end the Venom franchise. They're just going to make some kind of adjustment, probably in anticipation of Secret Wars, and definitely leave themselves room for the character to come back to life once again in the not so distant future. Once the production gets a little closer, I'm sure we're going to start to see more leaks and more details come out about the project, so we're going to bring this to you when it happens. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button so you get all those updates.